Taylor Harris from Salon Raw joined us in the podcast today. She is one of the owners of the salon in downtown Palm Harbor. You might have seen it before. It's the black and white building right there on Florida Ave in downtown Palm Harbor. They've been there for about 6 years now, prior as owners, but prior to that, they've been there for about 15 years total at that location. I'm super excited for you guys to meet Taylor and just kind of learn more about her story, her business. And you know, she is one of those that also grew up in Palm Harbor, grew up in the Palm Harbor area, and just absolutely loves Palm Harbor. Can't picture herself living anywhere else. So let's jump right into it and meet Taylor. Welcome to another episode of Palm Harbor Local. I'm your host, Florida native and real estate ninja, Donnie Hathaway. You know, I started this podcast because I'm extremely passionate about connecting you with the people and the local businesses that make Palm Harbor so special. Palm Harbor, Florida is a great place to live, work, and play. It has everything you could dream of, from the food, the outdoors, the lifestyle, to the people in the community. I wanted to create a podcast that connected the community and inspired everyone to live better. To join this community and stay up to date on all things Palm Harbor, visit my website, it's palmharborlocal.com, and sign up there to join the locals. And remember, together, we keep Palm Harbor local. So welcome, Taylor. I appreciate you being on the podcast today. I'm excited to learn more about you and kind of your business.
Thank you.
So your business, Salon Raw in downtown Palm Harbor.
Yes.
How, I guess tell us a little bit about that, how you got started in that.
Me and Chris, my business partner, we started at that salon actually almost 15 years ago. We rented the place from a woman. And, you know, it was just a little blue salon in downtown. And then about 6 years ago, we took over ownership, purchased the building, and we're just growing our team.
So, do you start in hair 15 years ago? Is that when
I started in hair? Well, me and Chris worked together actually at Supercuts,
Supercuts
23 years ago.
Are those still around?
Yeah, actually the one that we worked at is still there in Palm Harbor. So we were there together for 7 years, and then we just decided to go out on our own. So we've been literally working side by side for like 23, 24 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so how does that work as a hairstylist? Like when you, do you have to work with a company or like a Supercuts or with another business?
I mean, you don't have to, but I feel like it gave us a lot of practice basically, because, you know, you're just constantly, we would, you know, do sometimes 20, 30 haircuts in one day.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. And so it got to the point where we were just getting a lot of requests. So we're like, you know, you're making money for a corporation instead of
for yourself.
Yeah. So, so we just took the leap and did it. And yeah, we're glad we did.
And then so when you go to Salon Raw originally, like 15 years ago, you're renting out a space?
So it was originally called Avenue Salon. Okay. There was actually a woman that worked there for like 25 years, you know, did roller sets, and she was older. I want to say she was like in her 70s. So me and Chris just basically started working there, and we paid, you know, a per week, whatever. And we would literally sit there all day and do like one haircut. And we started out doing $10 haircuts, and it was crazy. Because
at that point, it's all on you to generate the business.
Yeah. Like I was a single mom. it was very, you know, it's hard when you start a business. Yeah. You don't know what's going to happen. So, but you know, we're glad we did. And eventually, the lady that worked there, she moved out. So we were only there with her maybe a couple months. And so then basically it was just me and Chris.
At the salon?
Mm-hmm. It was just the two of us.
Okay.
For a while, we did have another business partner, maybe 6 years into it. Didn't work out. The lady that actually owned the building, kind of wanted to start a spa. So she's the one that did all the remodeling, added on to the building, all that. And it didn't work out with her. So then she offered us to purchase the building and everything. So
cool.
Just once again took the leap, and glad we did.
Yeah. So going back a little bit, so you start out at Avenue Salon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have not a lot of business.
Yes.
How did you go from there to, now you're purchasing the building? Like what were some ways?
Well, honestly, it took probably, we were busy. I don't know. It basically, we got busy. We didn't really want the whole spa kind of atmosphere.
Sure,
we're more social, and we're just didn't really like where it was going with the owner. So me and Chris were actually going to leave and try to find somewhere else to go. And the woman who owned the building was like, well, I can't do this without you guys. So she basically said, do you guys want it? And after a lot of, talking and thinking and figuring out if we could do it, we were like, okay, well, that wasn't the original plan, but it worked out. And we're so glad we did.
Yeah. What do you, so what has that kind of done for you as far as like now owning this business? Like what did you guys learn from that?
After we purchased the building and everything, we ended up linking up with Aveda. So that kind of helped us a lot by getting our name out there more. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I guess I feel like the rest is history.
Yeah. How did you, so Aveda, that's like the
Yeah,
product.
We literally had somebody walk into our salon and said, have you guys ever thought of being an Aveda salon? And I didn't really know much about it. Chris didn't really know much about it. The other business partner that we had, she had went to the Aveda Institute. But when we went to school, I never even heard of it. So we, researched it, and they're such an awesome family. They have classes and, cool. Help, and they basically gave us a lot of help building us.
Like all the resources and knowledge.
Yeah, resources, that's the word. Yeah.
So, so let's go back to the beginning when you are building your business. Because I'm sure it's like we were just talking about before, social media now for a hairstylist is huge. Mm-hmm.
There was no social media back then. Well, not that not really like it is now for sure.
Right.
We literally started doing $10 haircuts, and we had a sandwich board, and we would sit outside all day. It was just crazy.
So just being in that location, you think really helped you guys?
Yeah. And we would hand out cards and,
going around to different businesses, different.
Yeah. And before we left our other place, we kind of had a couple weeks of, letting our clients know that we were leaving. So we still have people that we started out with. I still do probably my first haircut. I still do her hair.
No way.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What is it that you enjoy about hair? Did you ever see yourself? Is this something you've always wanted to do?
No, honestly, I was in 10th grade, and I wanted to get out of class one day, and they were taking a field trip to the technical school. So I was like, all right, well, my friend was going. So I was like, all right, well, I'll go. And I went to the field trip, and I was like, oh, that sounds cool. So I did cosmetology school my 11th and 12th grade of high school as my electives or whatever. And I finished and started at Supercuts as a receptionist, met Chris. We just hit it off. And it's just 20 something years later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you never really, really right out of school, this is, you jumped in.
I was in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
What are some, now that you're a business owner, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever picture yourself wanting to do that? Growing up as a kid? Is that something?
Not really. It just literally, no. It was almost it kind of just
everything
happened
just fell into place.
Fell into place. And it was, it's crazy looking back, how it happened.
Yeah. Did you, what are some challenges that you've kind of experienced as a business owner? What's up, Palm Harbor? It's your host, Donnie Hathaway. If you are looking to stay up to date with all things Palm Harbor, then visit my website. It's palmharborlocal.com. Super simple. You can sign up there, join the locals, where I'll be sharing more information on local events, local history, and what's happening in Palm Harbor. I really want to create and add more value to you as a listener for spending your valuable time tuning into my podcast. So join me there, keep listening, and remember, together, we keep Palm Harbor local.
Definitely being behind the chair so much and trying to run a business now that we have other stylists.
Yeah.
For the majority of our time, it was just, me and her doing hair, making, our own money. But now we're kind of trying to step away from the chair, like a little bit at a time, just because there's so much work going into running a business.
Yeah, you almost have to, right?
Yeah. So I don't even like taking new clients myself. I'd rather build my team up, and with social media, I feel like social media could be a full-time job by itself.
Right.
So,
So really now it's kind of like shifted into growing the business, growing the team.
Yes. And there's so much new stuff out there. I feel like the girls that we have are amazing and always wanting to learn. And, I'm getting to the point where one day I want to retire early, but I'd like to just work on running the salon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are some challenges that maybe you haven't seen or that you've had to overcome with running the salon or managing people too? I'm sure that's tough, right?
Well, thank God me and Chris kind of handle different stuff. Like she does all the books, all the accounting, the numbers. I hate numbers. I hate
and she likes all that
and
stuff.
She likes all that.
Yeah.
She doesn't do any social media. She didn't want to do the podcast.
Nice.
So I'm kind of the more networking, I just love all that kind of stuff. So thank God there's two of us. We just kind of,
balance each other out.
Yeah.
It's amazing how I think when you're reading books on how to set up a business or how to start a business, or finding a partner in a business, right? That's the ideal scenario, is find somebody who's complete opposite of you. And then you find, complete opposite of what you do. So that way you guys, 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2, 1 + 1 = 3 sort of thing.
Yeah. It's funny. I don't know. We're like an old married couple.
Yeah.
We've worked together so long. I've known her longer than I've worked with her longer than I've been alive, but, so it's just crazy. It's just, I don't know, just works out.
Yeah.
Most friends can't work together, but we met working together. So it just kind of.
It worked.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever see yourself when you first started, opening up a business or starting out and working together? No. Never on the horizon.
No, not really.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, that's great how it worked out and you guys balance each other out.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. So you've been doing hair for quite some time.
Yes.
What has changed over the last?
Everything. Everything, all the new techniques and the balayage and the.
Is it more work, more challenging?
I personally, and Chris too, we don't do any of that stuff. So thank God we have the girls, because they went to school knowing, teaching all that. They didn't do all that in school. So that's the best part about having young blood in the salon, because there's so much stuff, and they're so good at keeping up with all the latest trends and hairstyles.
Is most of the trends with women's hair, or they're trends with guys' hair too?
Both. Yeah.
What do you prefer doing more? Do you guys' hairs or women's? Or do you?
I don't know. I kind of like doing color and stuff more than haircuts, but.
The color that takes time. Is there any I'm sure there's skill involved in coloring and stuff, right?
Oh yeah. We're chemists too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mixing different chemicals and stuff.
Yeah.
Crazy. How long does it normally take for
we've had people in there for 8 hours. Mostly if somebody tries to do their own hair, but color corrections. And like I said, me and Chris don't do that much, I'm at the point where I just like doing my people that I've done forever.
Yeah.
And these girls, they're amazing what they can do. I don't even attempt some of the things that they do. So it's awesome.
You're almost like an artist too at that point.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
A chemist, an artist.
Painting and
yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And we make people feel good. So that's the best part.
Yeah. I think, that's really like the biggest thing about getting your hair done, right? And
it's awesome. We have people crying, just tears of joy, and it's nice. It's nice to make people feel good about themselves.
Do a lot of people, so when people, you said color corrections and stuff, so a lot of people like try to do their own hair at the house and screw it up.
Yes. That happens a lot,
Like
especially during COVID.
Oh yeah.
So funny. Yeah. People weren't leaving the house, and they were just,
I can do
never
this.
a good idea. Yeah, it's just never a good idea. We don't even color our own hair. Like it's just not a good idea.
Yeah. Is it too hard to just do it yourself, or is it just they just don't know what they're doing?
You can't see the back of your head. Like you don't, and plus, like, you really don't know what you're doing. You can't just put a color on and think it's going to be the color in the box. Like it's just, And
I'm sure it changes too with like the texture or color of someone's hair.
Well, yeah, and the stuff in the drugstore is not good for your hair, so that's another thing,
True.
So that's another reason why we went with Aveda, because they're almost as organic and natural, vegan, gluten-free, all that you can get. So, take care of yourself.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. So, what are some good tips for maybe someone who, just good tips for like good hair hygiene, I guess.
Good hair hygiene?
Yeah.
Don't try to color or cut your hair yourself.
Yeah.
Everybody's hair is different.
Right. So
you don't need to wash it every day.
Yeah.
And just everybody's, you got to find that happy medium cocktail of whatever products, and
it's like just trial and error.
Yeah. Like everybody's hair is different. So
yeah.
Yeah,
that makes sense. So what have you enjoyed about being in downtown Palm Harbor?
I just love it. I love the community. I love like watching it grow. Everybody, all the business owners are so nice. It's just nice being part of a community, and it's nice that it's finally growing, and I just see fun things happening and coming about. And I just love the fact that of not being in like a shopping center place where, I don't know. I just love the feel of downtown.
Yeah, it is cool. And you guys have a really cool location and like cool building and stuff too.
I love it.
It's cool. Have you noticed like downtown like change and kind of grow?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's gone through ups and downs for sure.
Yeah.
When we first got down there, they were doing a lot more First Fridays and all that kind of stuff. And it kind of, some of the businesses came and went, but I feel like it's about to really start getting back on track.
Yeah. What do you think is like kind of held it back from like, like Dunedin, like obviously Dunedin's like a destination.
A big thing is that we're unincorporated. So we don't really get help from the city or, anything like that. We don't have paid people. Like all the merchants were just business owners, just trying to do stuff ourselves while having a family and running a business. Right. Yeah. So, but we're really, really trying to start it up again because we all love it there. We just try, I don't know. Yeah, and it has like so much potential, right? It does. And people that live in Palm Harbor love Palm Harbor, so they don't. Right. I mean, it's packed at night, and it's packed even with not that much stuff going on. Right. It's just people love their community. So yeah. I hope once we start having some more festivals and stuff, it'll just grow and, And I think that'll help bring in some other businesses too, right? Because there's still a lot of opportunity down there. Oh my gosh, yes. I wish we could have some boutiques and, it's just, there's a lot of potential. Yeah. There's a lot of buildings too that, are just vacant. Yeah. Yeah. Vacant and there's land too, right? Yes. There's land that's downtown. Yes, yeah. A couple of spots here and there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So did you grow up in Palm Harbor? I grew up in Tarpon, so like I went to elementary and middle school there. But like I said, I started working at Supercuts when I was 17, so I've been in the area since then. Crazy. Yeah. Did you ever think about moving outside of? So you were born. I just always loved Palm Harbor. It's so funny. Yeah. Like unfortunately, I graduated from Gulf High School. Okay. But as soon as I graduated, like I couldn't wait to move to Palm Harbor. So I just What do you love about it so much? I don't know. I just feel like it's home. Just fits you. Yeah.
So speaking of Palm Harbor, like what are some of your, like if you had to pick one place to go to, whether it's a park, restaurant, whatever it is, like where are you going?
Salon Raw. I'm just kidding.
You're there every day.
Yeah, I know. Well, it is my home away from home, but I don't know. I love Fireside. Fireside's my favorite restaurant down there. I love Pop Stancil. I like paddleboarding out of the
that's cool. Yeah,
stuff like that. I love Savage, the new yoga place is amazing.
Yeah,
one of my favorite places. So
nice. Pop Stancil's a good one too. That's a little quiet park.
Yeah. When I had I still have my son, but he's 18 now. But he grew up playing in the playground and stuff there.
Yeah,
we'd ride our bikes. Mm-hmm,
yeah.
So.
Is that cool to see? Like you grew up in this area, and now to see your kid grow up in this area too.
Yeah. I mean, he went to Ozona Elementary, Palm Harbor Middle, and graduated from Palm Harbor High. So
cool.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think that's the one thing that's different about Palm Harbor is just like the community, like it's the schools and everything. That's what attracts a lot of people here to this area.
Yeah, when I was buying my house, I had like parameters that I like had to meet.
Yeah,
can't do that anymore now with the housing market, but I don't see myself moving ever. I mean, you never know what's going to happen, but I love it.
Yeah, that's cool. We had the similar thing, not for school zones because we didn't have kids yet, but when we bought our home, it was like we wanted to be close to the Pinellas Trail, like close enough where we could get on there easily, Yeah.
Well, I love this side, the
side of 19.
Yeah. Just because it's like, I feel like it's a little bit more laid back. It's closer to the water. You have the trail. So, yeah.
I almost look at Palm Harbor like there's three different Palm Harbors within Palm Harbor.
Oh, for sure.
Because you have the west side, which is where we're at.
Yeah.
Where you're at. And then like the other side of 19, East Lake side, which is like completely residential, but has its own like vibe and feel down there. And then like 34684, which is, just
Crystal Beach area kind of?
No, not Crystal Beach. It's so it's actually the west side of the lake, but east of 19,
like
the other side of 19.
Lake Tarpon. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So
it's cool.
I like the west side.
Yeah. By the water.
Yeah.
All the local shops and restaurants. Yes. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Taylor, I appreciate you joining the podcast today. This has been fun.
Thank you so much. It's fun.
Yep. And so tell people like your social media and then like your location, like where you're at downtown.
Okay. So our Instagram handle is Salon Raw _Aveda. And we're in downtown Palm Harbor, 1118 Florida Avenue. We have a big, huge mural on the side. You can't miss us. Black and white building.
Yep.
And just come by and say hi.
There you go. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you again for listening to another episode of Palm Harbor Local. I really hope you got a ton of value out of today's episode. Now, if you're looking to connect with the guest or just get more information on the episode, then you can check the description below. I'll have all the links in the episode as well as a link back to my website. It's palmharborlocal.com, where you can stay up to date on what's going on with the podcast and sign up there to join the locals. Let's get after it this week. And remember, together, we keep Palm Harbor local.